Please help support the channel by visiting our Amazon store, affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo, this is the Mundane Matt channel, and J.K. Rowling has finally broken the silence surrounding the controversy of casting Johnny Depp as Grindewald in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindewald. Now, I did talk about this the other day when she actually blocked somebody on Twitter for criticizing Depp's casting. And I thought that it was really interesting that Miss Progressive Liberal J.K. Rowling herself blocked someone on Twitter for asking a simple question such as that. But after all that blew up and after all the controversy surrounded it kind of boiled down, she decided to break her silence in a way that's meant to mitigate damage, but ultimately still doesn't change anything, which I have to say I really kind of get a kick out of it with this. So it says here that Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling has broken her silence on the controversy surrounding Johnny Depp's casting in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. When Johnny Depp was cast as Grindewald, I thought he'd be wonderful for the role. However, around the time of filming his cameo in the first movie, stories began to appear in the press that deeply concerned me and everyone most closely involved with the franchise. Harry Potter, and this is of course referring to his incident with Amber Heard. Harry Potter fans had legitimate questions and concerns about her choice to continue with Johnny Depp in the role. As David Yates, longtime Potter director, has already said, we naturally considered the possibility of recasting. I understand why some of you have been confused and angry about why that didn't happen. And I actually really like this response just in general of like, we considered it, crumpled it up, and then tossed it out the damn window. You might be upset why this is happening, but it's happening, you know, and I do kind of like that. She might be trying to skirt around the issues as a way of trying to, like, you know, again, mitigate the damage, but it's pretty clear, you know, it's pretty clear that the director of the film and J.K. Rowling both like him in the role, want to keep him in the role. So they'll talk about the idea of recasting, but they're not actually going to go out and do it because it would already cost probably a lot more money and problems overall than it would be if they just let it ride. Rowling did add that while the huge mutually supportive community that has grown up around Harry Potter is one of the greatest joys of my life, she found it difficult, frustrating, and at times painful to remain silent on the Depp issue. However, she added, the agreements that have been put in place to protect the privacy of two people, both of whom have expressed a desire to get on with their lives, must be respected. Based on our understanding of the circumstances, the filmmakers and I are not only comfortable sticking with our original casting, but genuinely happy to have Johnny playing a major character in the movies. This is like the exact opposite of what's going on in Hollywood, what's going on in politics right now. Think of it like this. I'm just going to use Al Franken as a direct comparison. Right now, Al Franken, you know, resigned, and everything else. And I think, you know, a lot of it has to do with the mounting pressure from the Democratic Party, so on and so forth. But ultimately, in the one act that there is photographic evidence of him with Leanne Tweeden, the whole Hong Kong picture, which he said was a joke, he apologized, she accepted it. People didn't lay off. Now, other accusations have come out, but those are generally just, you know, probably people coming out of the woodworks to make the claim to try to get their 15 minutes. And what you have in this situation is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard had a very bad breakup, you know, and it went a certain way, and both parties have expressed a desire to move on with their lives. And as a result, both parties want to get back to work. Now, when it comes to Warner Brothers as a whole, both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are key figures in some of their key franchises. Amber Heard playing Mara in Justice League. Johnny Depp, of course, playing Grindelwald in this movie. So it gives you an idea that, like, they look at it and they went like, yeah, they had a bad breakup. Those aren't really uncommon or uncharacteristic of Hollywood starlets. But that being said, they both want to move on with their lives. So let's just kind of drop it and move on from there. Now, this is where it's going to be interesting leading into the release of the film, how many fans are going to start these like protests, because you know it's coming. You know it's coming. They don't ever want to stop, right? They don't ever want to stop. They want to make this go as crazy as they can because they know these fans that, let's face it, are a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at times, like to beat their chests, and they want to see the change because they cried on Twitter. But we're beyond that now. They're shooting the movie. They're not going to recast him. The question, though, will be if this is going to have any direct impact on the box office of the film. They're probably thinking that this is an early enough controversy now. The movie comes out in a year. People will forget and move on, provided that Johnny Depp keeps his head down. Now, it goes on to say here that Rowling is a screenwriter of both Fantastic Beasts and the film sequel, saying she's loved that experience. Also going to say that I accept there will be those who are not satisfied with the choice of actor in the title role. However, conscience isn't governable by committee. Within the fictional world and outside it, we all have to do what we believe to be the right thing. Which I find to be really funny because that's like almost the exact opposite of where we are right now. Accusation after accusation after accusation have flown out recently. And I overheard, was it Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC last night saying, you know, that there's going to be a zero tolerance policy for even accusations in the Senate. A zero tolerance policy for accusations. That is where things are right now. Due process, done, dead, gone, buried out back somewhere in an unmarked grave. But here, it's not happening. What is so different about this compared to everything else, especially in Hollywood? You know, especially in Hollywood. It's so weird right now. Now, it goes on to describe what happened between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, saying that Heard accused Depp of emotionally and physically abusive and inebriated behavior during their one-year marriage, and released a video of Depp having a tantrum and a photo of herself with a black eye. Depp called the reports salacious false stories, gossip, misinformation, and lies. The two reached a settlement in 2016 and issued a joint statement reading, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile. We were bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There is never any intent of physical or emotional harm." And that's it. That basically, we just didn't mesh and it didn't go over well. And so they released a statement, and I believe Amber Heard got like a fair amount of money out of the deal too. And so that's that. And that's kind of where things are at. Like, they've had their settlement. They've reached this, you know, they're done. Let's move on. And this is where probably the producers at Warner's are like, let's just get the hell past this thing. Now, David Yates defended Johnny Depp's casting here by saying, honestly, there's an issue at the moment where there's a lot of people being accused of things. They're being accused by multiple victims, and it's compelling and frightening. With Johnny, it seems to me that there was one person who took a pop at him and claimed something. I can only tell you about the man I see every day. He's full of decency and kindness, and that's all I see. Whatever accusation was out there doesn't tally with the kind of human being I've been working with. Now, that is a bold statement to make by a director. Now, the director's primary job is to protect the integrity of the film and also bring it home. And David Yates is not a newbie to this world. He directed, I think, the last 3 Harry Potter films as well as Fantastic Beasts. So 3 or 4, I think he did the last 3 or 4 Harry Potter films. So he's been in this for a long time. So this is what he's saying. So he's a person who, you know, has been working with him and has been seeing this kind of behavior. Now, he did say here, by testament to some of the women in Depp's life having said the same thing, that's not the human being we know. It's very different than cases where there are multiple accusers over many years that need to be examined, and we need to reflect on our industry that allows that to roll on year in and year out. Johnny isn't in that category in any shape or form, so to me, it doesn't bear any more analysis. It's a dead issue. And I find that to be really funny, because you have his ex-wife making a claim. One claim, it's fine, which really does kind of give you the idea of the rule of Hollywood. One claim, you're good. Any more than that, we're going to be a problem here. In a new statement released by Warner's on Thursday, Yates said, "None of us involved in Fantastic Beasts would ever let our appreciation of talent obscure other, far more important considerations. We recognize the magnitude of the issues raised and understood the strength of feelings expressed. We hoped and strived at all times to be sensitive to both parties, and we stand by our decision to have Johnny in the films." So they're in it. Warner's 100% behind Johnny Depp. Consider this a dead issue. But the real question is, though, how are the fans going to react? But we'll talk about that. So it does finish up here by saying that Warner's, which distributes the films, says, "We are, of course, aware of reports that surfaced around the end of Johnny Depp's marriage and take seriously the complexity of the issues involved. This matter has been jointly addressed by both parties in a statement, which they said there was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. Based on the circumstances and the information available to us, we, along with the filmmakers, continue to support the decision and proceed with Johnny Depp in the role of Grindewald in this and future films." Now, that's interesting to me, because that could, in fact, change things. That could change going forward, absolutely. Like, if someone else comes out and makes an accusation, are they going to pull it? But clearly it showcases that Grindewald is going to be a villain for at least the next 4 films, right? Fantastic Beasts 2, and then the other 3 in this new prequel series. So we know that Warner's is banking hard on him, and they've probably told him, like, you need to get off the drink, you need to go to anger management. No, you have to have a squeaky clean, record at this point going forward, or else, we'll recast you. And Johnny Depp, after the failure of Pirates of the Caribbean 5, which wasn't a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, you can see he probably really needs this now. Also because he was playing the Invisible Man in the Dark Universe, and that's dead. So there's that too. So I look at a situation like this, and you can read between the lines and see that this, of course, is a studio decision. The studio is backing their star because the type of accusation made against him is not in line with those of Harvey Weinstein or Jeremy Piven or Kevin Spacey or anything else like that. So it's that one person rule, which should actually be kind of a beacon for anyone out there in Hollywood who might be accused by one. One, you're fine. Any more than that, you're kind of screwed. So I just find this to be interesting. I look forward to the inevitable SJW backlash against this particular film and what will come in the months leading up to its release next November. But what do you guys think? Hey guys, that wraps up this video. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so below. I love to read your guys' input. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, there's the Amazon affiliate store, there's PayPal, there's Patreon, there's Bitcoin. And if you're bored and you want something else to watch, check out 3 Buck Theater up here. My name is Matt Jarbo. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out.